Chapter 32 Chiamaka, Monday. I storm all the way to Belle's house after school, skipping detention. Nothing matters anymore. Not school, not detention. I'm done. Unofficially dropping out. I can't go back there, not after what I discovered today. It's what they wanted, us dropping out, disappearing. I have no idea what this means for my future, for college, but we need to deal with aces. Nevaeh. Now. My face and chest are tight from my earlier tears as I knock on Belle's front door. She answers, giving me a huge smile and looking slightly confused by my unannounced presence. I don't bother returning her smile because I'm not here to smile or laugh at her jokes or watch a romantic comedy and pretend. I'm here for answers. Hey, I didn't know you were coming. Would have cleaned up a little, Belle says, still sounding stuffy. I know she's wearing pink silk pajamas, and she looks really awful. At least she wasn't lying about her illness. We walk through her foyer into the kitchen. Hers is bigger than mine, with white marble everywhere and high-tech everything. I remember how Dad complains about kitchens these days, and how technological they are. One can't even open a fridge normally anymore, he always says. Which is an exaggeration. I mean, if he wants to open a fridge, he could always buy whatever model Richards probably has. I'm going to ask you a few questions, and I want the truth, I tell her. She pulls out a seat for me, but I remain standing. Belle looks at me, then the seat, then me again. What questions? She says like she hasn't got a clue. And I'd believe her too if I could just believe anything anyone ever says to me again. How do I begin to explain the incoherent questions that have been circulating in my brain since last night? Things I have been trying to link up. Questions that slap me into consciousness, hold my eyes open, beat my chest so that it feels bruised and aching. Questions that plague me like the familiar face of a dead girl. Do you think... I stop. Do you think that death is permanent? I ask. Belle's eyes widen. Chiamaka, are you okay? I'm fine, I say, sniffling. Answer the question. What sort of question is that? It's one I keep thinking about, and I know it doesn't make sense, not to an innocent person, but I think you can provide an answer for me. We stare at each other, her face blank on purpose, her eyes dull but deliberate. I can't believe I didn't see through it before. I'm not as good as I used to be. I'll tell you a story I'm sure you already know. Almost a year ago, Jamie and I were in a car, driving back from his parents' beach house, when we hit someone. The images, clear as day, flash before me like they always do, as my head hits the dashboard and the worst night of my life begins once again. Belle, on Sunday night, I went to school, waited in Morgan Library by Computer 17, and knocked a dead girl to the ground. A girl I thought I'd hit and left to bleed out like an animal. So, I ask again. My voice is shaky, face moist from tears that stain my skin. Do you think death is permanent, or can corpses undie, roll out of graves, and find their way into Nevaeh? Belle sits there calmly, her legs crossed, like what I just told her is equivalent to announcing there will be a rainy skies or the time right now is 4:45. My whole body rattles. The floorboards creak above us, and I look up. Chiamaka, I can explain, she says, voice flat. I'm not as good as I used to be. Otherwise I would see through a bitch and a liar so easily, like I could before. Explain what? That your fucking sister is... Chiamaka, please. There are tears in her eyes. The problem with compulsive liars is that unless you're up to their speed, it's so hard to tell if anything is true or not. The resemblance to her sister is striking. I can't believe I didn't see this before. Now, when I look at her, I just see Martha. Since I saw Martha, I've come up with 100 wild theories, blaming Jamie, thinking I was losing my mind. What's fascinating is that not once did I think you had anything to do with it. Not once. Then I started to piece things together, and it's really my fault for not being more suspicious when you came and spoke to me that first day after school. So when I speak to Richards and he's telling me about Nevaeh being this evil institution, I start remembering things. Like how it's weird that there is this camp so many of you guys go to every summer. I never really questioned why you'd go to a camp just to be with the same people from school. But then I stumbled across Camp Aces in some old yearbook, and my theories start making sense. You need a camp for your sick games. You need a way, a place, to plan how you're going to ruin my life, Devon's life. My voice rises, which surprises me. I hate how vulnerable I feel right now. Me kissing you was real, Chiamaka, Belle says, with a catch of what I'm now sure is trained breath between real and Chiamaka. I shake my head. How could I be so irrational? Let myself like someone I don't even know. Then again, I thought I knew Jamie, but he showed his true colors too. They were just as bad as each other. Why did you do it? I ask. It's a question with a double meaning. Why'd you kiss me back? Why not just walk out of the classroom and never speak to me again? Spare me the hurt. And also, why are you a part of this? What is this? Belle looks away from me. It's not that simple. I need to explain everything. Why'd you do it, Belle? What's the point of all this? I have theories, but I don't want to believe them. Believe that people could be that sick. But all the evidence doesn't leave me with much choice. I want you to tell me now. Why? The floorboards above creak once again. Who else is here? My heartbeat grows faster. Belle looks up at the ceiling, wiping her eyes. I didn't have a choice. It's been a family tradition for decades. My mom, my dad, my sister, they all went to Nevaeh. They are all invested in its traditions, because it's what my family has always done. We go to camp, we learn more about the past, and about how the future could look just like it if we planned properly. It seemed harmless. Get 2 kids to drop out, move on with life, forget. I'm dizzy. Of course she had a choice. People always have a choice. And it's not just Nevaeh. There are places all over the country that do this. She still can't look at me. What is this exactly? I ask, trying to sound as calm as I can. Bella's pale, tears flowing down her face. I hate her lies and her fake weeping. She shouldn't be the one crying here. This time the creaking comes from the staircase. I look toward it, body tense as I expect to see a masked figure emerge. They call it social eugenics, her voice stutters out. The words puncture my chest. Social eugenics. I didn't mean to hurt you, she sniffs. As soon as I got to know you, I regretted everything. I wanted to change it, make things better for you, but the system is so complicated. There are so many people involved. I wipe my eyes. You'll be glad to know you didn't hurt me. I don't get hurt by people I don't care about. Belle flinches at that. You can't ruin my future either. It's in my hands. Not Nevaeh's, not yours or your sick family's. The doorbell rings. That must be my ride, I tell her, moving away. Her chair scrapes against the floor and her hands grip my arm. I turn to face her. Get off me. Please, just trust me. Her eyes look like crystals dipped in blue poison, her lower lip quivering, lashes blinking, face reddening. A white cat is seated in the middle of the stairwell, watching the scene unfold. When it catches me staring, it hops back up the stairs, which creak from its sudden movement. I look at Belle again. Trust you? I'm breathing fast, chest billowing. I never want to see you again. I yank my arm away, opening the door. Richard stands there waiting for me. His eyes move past me and over to Belle. I don't want to be here anymore. I just want to leave and never have to see or think about her again. Let's go. The smell of bitch-ass liar is nauseating. When we get back to my house, I'm expecting to be empty, like it is at this time most days of the week. But when we walk through the door, Dad is in the kitchen making dinner. Chiamaka? Dad calls out. Should I wait here? Devon asks. I shake my head. Just follow me, I tell him. Coming, Dad, I shout, walking into the kitchen, where he's standing in an apron, stirring a pot. Come and taste this, he says, holding the spoon out to me. I make a face. I'm not hungry. He raises an eyebrow, but nods, lifting a spoon to his mouth instead. It needs more salt, he mutters, pausing, then looks past me at Devon standing behind me. You brought a new friend over, he says, sounding surprised. I don't usually bring over new people. He wipes his hands on his apron before moving toward Devon, who physically tenses up. Dad holds his hand out, and Devon timidly shakes it. Hi, I'm Chiamaka's bank account, occasionally known as Dad, he says with a wide smile. Devon looks even more uncomfortable. Dad's humor is only funny to him. His glasses are fogged over, and he looks a bit like a creepy scientist, what with all the smoke coming from the pots and everything. Anyway, Devon and I need to work on a school project tonight, I tell him, grabbing Devon's arm and pulling him toward the stairs. Okay, just keep your door open, Dad calls out as we leave. I will, I shout, even though I'm pretty sure Dad has nothing to worry about. We go up the stairs into my room, and I close the door behind us, leaving it only slightly ajar. So, I say, diving right in as Devon sits back on my bed. When I went to the library, I found this yearbook from 1965. I saw it on Sunday while we were hiding, but I didn't get the chance to check it out. There's this picture in it. Camp Aces. I tap onto the photo I took earlier, shoving my phone into Devon's hands. He scans the picture and looks unsurprised. I zoom in on a young face. Doesn't that look like Ward? I ask. His eyebrows bunch up. Holy shit. That's not all. I found out how the quote-unquote dead girl is connected. She's the sister of a girl I was close with, Belle Robinson. whose house we were just at. Apparently, her family all went to Nevaeh and involved in Aces. Somehow, they staged the car accident. Aces was set up to ruin our futures, to invite two black students who showed exceptional promise to join the school, then break them down, stop them from achieving what they should. Devon just stares at my phone, a vacant expression on his face. It's like he's not fully there. He's still shaky, not as much as this morning, but it's like he's a human-sized chihuahua. I click my fingers in front of his face. Hey, Devon? His head snaps up. His eyes glaze over. Sorry. Yeah, this is fucked up, he says. It's more than fucked up. These people are evil. But I can tell he's had to take in a lot of the last 24 hours. I can't expect him to be fully present. I don't think I'm even really here, or processing it. I'm tired. Are you okay? I ask. He shrugs, looking away from me and handing me back to my phone. I take a seat next to him. Me too. I feel like crap, I reply to his silence. We sit in the quiet for a few minutes. I need to know how to move forward from this, to not feel stuck. I grew up in this world, one where my hair was petted, tugged, laughed at, pointed out, banned in school rule books, and so I straightened it to comply, to ensure they didn't probe me or touch me like I'm some pet. I got the grades to look smart, because part of me always feels dumb around them. I got the respect, acted proper, thought I was doing well, thought again to Yale. No problem. No matter what I do, no matter how much I iron down the hair that springs from my scalp, or work as hard as I can, I'm always going to be other to them. Not good enough for this place I've tried to call home all my life. I can quote-unquote fix the kinks in my hair, but not the kinks in this whole system that hates me and Devon and everyone who looks like us. A sniff breaks out of my thoughts, and I glance down at Devon. He's trying to hide his face, but I see him wiping his eyes with the sleeve of his alien hoodie. He's crying. I pretend not to notice, wait until it's not so obvious before I speak again. Why don't we talk tomorrow, when we're both well rested? It's a lot to take in today. We can meet in the morning, think of a strategy to make those people realize we will not be derailed. He looks at me, bleary-eyed. What do you mean? We didn't come this far just to come this far, right? We can't let them win, so tomorrow morning I'll meet you and we can think of ways to beat them. Neither of us is in the right headspace tonight, I say. He nods slowly. Can we meet around 12? I have to be somewhere in the morning, he says. He can't be serious. Is it more important than Aces? I ask. I have to see a friend tomorrow, he says, standing up now. I stand with him. Okay, we can meet at 12. I can come over to your place? Okay, he says. I was only asking to be polite. I've heard about the neighborhood he's from. It's not a place I've ever been to, nor do I want to visit. I was hoping he'd say no. We walk downstairs and Devon mutters a goodbye before leaving. Was that your friend leaving already? Dad asks as I walk into the living room. He's reading a book and eating a bowl of soup, glasses edging toward the tip of his nose. I nod. Yeah, he didn't feel well, so we're meeting up tomorrow instead, I say, thinking about how exhausted Devon looked. Everything okay at school? Dad asks, flipping the page of the book. I wish parents wouldn't ask that so much, especially when the truth might hurt them and make them hate you. If I told him, no, school is awful. In fact, I don't think I could go back, because the whole school is racist and they hate me, Dad. He wouldn't get that. He wouldn't understand anything I told him, because it's not something he's ever had to deal with. All he'd register is the fact that I've been accused of theft, murder, and fornicating with random boys, and he'd think I was disgusting. I already hate me enough for the both of us. Besides, even if I did tell him everything, I know he wouldn't do anything. Dad couldn't even defend me when his family would say racist things to me when I was a child. He just watched silently as Grandma would not mock me in the way I looked. Said nothing when his family no longer wanted Mom and me to visit. Why would he defend me now? So I say, school is great, Dad. And then I tell him another lie, that I'm tired, and I go to my room, and I try to sleep. But all I see is her. Images of Martha on the ground after we'd hit her. Dream sequences. Or now maybe memories. And me drunk, stumbling into a room, music from the party playing in the background. I start panicking because I see these blonde little bloody dolls everywhere, and I see a figure, which turns toward me, and it's her. I'm screaming, but no one can hear me. I'm crying. I can't stop crying. The music is blasting. I'm shouting, "You're not real!" And she's laughing. I can see my reflection in the mirror behind her, my silver dress sparkling in the dark room, the straps hanging off my shoulders. I look like a mess. I am a mess. I'm screaming, but no one can hear me. I'm screaming so loud, but no one can help me. For a year, my subconscious has tormented me with a traumatic night that wasn't real. I haven't been able to sleep properly, and none of it was real. People I knew, people I trusted, made me believe I was losing my mind. I feel angry and lost. How do you undo a fake memory? My brain still can't let go, see it as anything but real. At night, when the world goes black, despite everything I've learned, the hazy dream/memory sequence of that night at Jamie's house, the party through in junior year, begins again.